Hey everyone, welcome to my channel today. So today I have something a little bit different for you. I was inspired by Sue Plum. I will make sure I leave a link to her blog and her Facebook scrappy page in the comments section below. Not the comments, the description box below. But she was following along with this For the Love of Homemade Kits kit, created by Khristina. Again, I will link her as well. And I thought I would play along. She really inspired me. So I have my kit here. This is the printout of what went in it. And I figured I would print that so that I could remember what I'm telling you guys. The first thing that I picked for my kits was my papers, and the first thing that I picked from my papers that I picked, so it's got here specialty paper, was this beautiful piece of vellum from Vicky Bouton. I have two, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to start with this. I don't know if I'm going to cut it apart or use it as a big sheet or use it for layers and kind of cut the middle out and stuff, but we shall see. So that's where I started. And then the other thing on the list was a recent or new paper purchase, was this piece here. It is from the Jen Hadfield Warm and Cozy. It's called Tweed. I bought it for this side. I love a good text paper. So I've got these two, and then I was like, okay, I need to bring more colour in. And so I went through a few different stacks of paper, and then from there I pulled this one. This is Chamel from, I think, the original Chamel collection. It's called Haynes, that's the back. But from here I had a really solid colour scheme, which is where I pulled everything else from. So the other papers that I've got here is this one by Echo Park. There is an ombre paper on the list. So an ombre style pattern, which is this one here that I picked. It's got that navy right through to that mint. The only colour that's not on that rainbow is that navy, but I thought that would be a really nice dark contrast colour. That is Pirate Tales Sea Monster by Echo Park, and that is the other side. I did buy it for this side when I saw it. I have another ombre pattern here, which is this one. If I'm going to use it as a whole sheet, I would probably use it this way because I like the lighter at the top and the darker at the bottom. But this is Dear Lizzie, Lucky Charm, noteworthy, and it is from 2012. So that's my other ombre pattern. I did want to bring in more of that dark, that navy blue. So this was one of my favorite papers of all time ever, so I bought a whole 25 pack of it. It says Love You to the Stars and Back, which is what I say to my boys, but it's got that navy. It's also got that minty colour in there, which is in here. So great match for that. So I pulled that, and that is the back, which I think would also work. A tiny print. So I've got, I think, two. So there's this pink one, which again matches that pink stripe. This is Maggie Holmes Crate Paper Bloom, and that is 2015. So I did pick it for the pink and the little letters. I thought that was a good tiny print. And then this one as well, which again pulls on lots of those colours in that stripe. This is Cocoa Vanilla Studio Sugar and Spice, which I believe was their first ever collection. 2014. This one's Sweetheart, and I've pulled this one for that rainbow, again, tiny print. This one I pulled just because I love the colour of it. It's from the same Chamel collection. This is the back. It's called Dowdy, but I kind of felt that it fitted into the tiny pattern. So I'm going to use this as well because, again, that matches perfectly with that rainbow. So that's all my papers. I am leaving myself room to add in cardstock. I'm at home. I don't have to only stick to what's in my kit. So I am leaving myself room for that. Next I went to my mixed media. So I have a little bowl here. The two items on the mixed media are art crayons or gelatos and a mist or spray. So I pulled out my gelatos and my distress crayons. So I've got 4 gelatos and 2 crayons, peacock feathers and spiced marmalade. Then in my gelatos, this one is blood orange, guava. This one doesn't have a name printed on it, but it's pretty. And this one is metallic mint. A mist or spray. So I went for a dark blue, which is the Colorings Ahoy Matey by by Shimmers. So it's a flat colour, but I did pull on that because there's not a great deal of that navy blue in anything else. So I thought that would be a really good colour to pull in. I was just going to look for something and I've gone completely blank, so it doesn't matter. Now I also have my gold colour shine here. This was added after I pulled my embellishments, and you'll see why in a minute. So that is my mixed media supplies, which again, I am not completely limited to, but I am going to try to use them. I haven't pulled stencils or stamps. Again, I figure I'll just dive into my stash. Alphabets. So we've got a fancy alphabet and any style of black alphabet. So again, I don't have a lot of black happening in that kit, so I decided to again pull on that navy blue. So I've got these 2 alphas here in the navy blue. I pulled out the white sheet. I've got the 2 whites together and the 2 blues together. So I've got those 2 alphabets there in place of the black. I just figured that this fitted better, and these pink ones will work really well as well. And then my a fancy alphabet, I thought I would use this. To me, it's very pretty writing, and I just thought that it would work really well with the colours I've picked. I can always ink them or emboss them or something like that if the colours don't work with whatever I'm working on. But the only colour that doesn't really work is this yellow, and that will totally depend on what paper I paired it with. So these are the alphabets, my fancy alphabet that I'm using. So then from there I went to chipboard. I pulled this. This is from one of the Vicky Bouton collections. I think it might be Field Notes. Escape the Ordinary. As you can see, I haven't used any of it. Again, I'll be able to use a lot of this with that kit. I think there aren't many pieces that are not going to work with it. I might steer clear of like this, the black, but it might also be a nice pop. So I've got that for my chipboard. I've also pulled in these 2 chipboard frames. I think that's it, yeah. So I've got that for my chipboard. What else have we got? Okay, so embellishments. I've got a roller stamp. I pulled this one from Amy Tan. Punches. I've got my heart confetti style punch there. It gives me lots of different variety. And my label punch. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be scrapbooking with this kit, so I figured something universal would be perfect. And then lastly, embellishments. So on the list is clips of some kind, spring themed embellishment, and wood veneer. So I've got spring themed, made me think of flowers. So I've pulled this whimsical collection floral pack. The colours actually, except for the ones that are in here, of these florals work really well with the patterns I've picked out. So I'm really happy with that choice. Was one of these? No. So I thought that the colours in this worked really well as well. Again, there's the flowers. I thought they were kind of spring-ish colours, and again I just thought that they were fairly neutral and versatile, so I pulled those. Well, that's why. There were more flowers in here, and I thought if I go with more of the not white patterns, even with the white, I could use some of these florals in that as well. So they're both from Jelly Bean Soup, Bowl of Dreams. And then this is really old in my stickers, but I thought that some of the colours in here would work really well. So let's get some stuff used up. I have this big bowl here on my desk as well. So I went through that and I pulled a few bits and pieces from that. That's where this big butterfly came from. And then I've got these few pieces as well. Again, these colours work really well. These are from all over the place, and I've just literally picked them for colour mostly. This I will chop off if you're wondering. On one of my page kits, I had this pattern paper, and I ended up cutting out the rest of the florals again. I thought this really spoke to the idea of spring embellishments, so I've got all those little pieces in the bottom there. Wood veneer. Oh, these as well. These colours just worked really well, and I kind of figured that the theme of them will work well. Explore, roam and discover, all outdoorsy kind of stuff, which I thought fit really well. They're Ali Edwards. My veneer, I've got, I was like, I have to include a rainbow, right? Spring, yeah, following. That's where I went with that. I have got this little pack of confetti style veneer from Ellie's Studio. Hearts, circles and stars. Oh dear. And then I've pulled some fairly specific pieces. So I've got these feathers, which I'm pretty sure I got in a kit by, oh my gosh, I've gone completely blank. Rainbow Splendor, I think it was. And they're Corbett Creations, so those feathers. Then I've got these cameras, because, you know, we're scrapbooking photos most of the time. So Oh Snap and Smile, they're Freckled Fawn. I think that's Corbett Creations as well. I have no idea where these came from, but I thought hot air balloons, why not? This deer. It said spring themed embellishments, baby deer. That's where I went. And then I've got these words. Again, these have been in my stash for ages. Amazing, lovely, hello, and family. So that's my veneer. Not tons, but I think more than enough to get through. And then the last thing on the list is clips. Just pulling them out. See, there's little bits of gold popping up here and there. So that's why the gold ended up being added. The mist ended up being added. I also added, you can see some gold paper clips here. You can see I've got a couple in kind of the same colour but different. What I did was pulled out that rainbow stripe and I matched, obviously that's white, matched the colours to the clips I had and tried to pull one for each colour. If I had two different shapes for the same colour, then I pulled both of the shapes, which was only that red. So that's my clips. And lastly, spring themed embellishments. I pulled out some puffy stickers, Ellie's Studio, and then some puffy hearts. Again, I just refer back to that rainbow pattern, that rainbow stripe, and pulled colours that kind of matched as best I could. And that is the kit I'll be working with. So lots of goodies here to play with. I've got some design team stuff I need to work on, which is almost done. And then I'm really looking forward to diving into this kit. It should be fun. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to scrap, but I will share as I go. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them below. I will leave links to Sue and to Khristina. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join me. I appreciate my subbies so very much. If you have been following me for a long time, a big thank you as always. Your kind words, your support really does mean a great deal. And I say, especially right now in this weird time that we are having, spread the love, people, spread the love. So, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you taking time out of your lives to hang out with me. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them below, and I will be back again soon on my channel with something to share. I'm not really sure what's next. I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you again soon.